Good morning. Let me see if we're doing this right. Chris went back to work last week, and um, so this is a little different than what I am used to. So let's just see how that works. Good morning, Matt. I think you're the one from Houston, Texas. It was with Sean last night. I don't know how your weather's there, but we've had some storms, and I think we're looking at some storms for today. So I don't know about anybody else, but we had hail yesterday, right in the middle of Pastor's sermon. And so hopefully we didn't have too much damage all around. We're looking at that kind of weather again today. So hopefully everyone's safe. Good morning, Eileen. This is all new to me. I'm one that comes in and does my thing and go out, and I let other people answer um, the messages because I'm that kind of person. I do one thing at one time, and if I get that done, I feel pretty good. Hi, Veronica. I see that you saw my workout yesterday. If you didn't watch our children's time yesterday, I was one of those. I I don't know if I should say. Some would say I would made a fool of myself, but what we do for these kids, and I hope that the kids got the message on the workout video that I did. I know I've heard from adults uh, probably thinking, I can't believe she would do something like that. So, hi, Dozy, how are you doing? Been missing all of my workers and every Dozy's one of them that has been so good about working with us, and Lisa. I don't know what I would do without Lisa. At, she makes me look good at times, and other times she's culprit of some of these crazy things that I do. So, Gary, good morning. And Bobby, thank you. Mary, you guys, if I don't uh, say anything back, it's like I said, I am a person that does one thing at one time and try and do a decent job there. And so, but you all have been so supportive in that, even when I'm thinking that, oh, what a crazy thing we've done. Yesterday morning, if you didn't see, I probably was acting a little crazy. We were talking about Samson and um, and his strength, and so I went to the gymnasium and to the exercise room and sort of went crazy. And like I said, I know the kids. I've heard from the kids, but I've heard from as many adults, and I think that they just couldn't believe I would do something like that. Well, what we do for our kids, and I love our kids here at church, and that's the reason why. Um, Here comes Lisa. Here, here's the other person that is part of my crime. Oh, okay. So how do I get rid of that? We're getting ready to start, and I'm learning. Okay. Oh, now Lisa's doing this. It's not me. There we go. Okay. I'll tell you what, Lisa and I've had such a good time taping our children's moments, and I loved her in the beginning, but I really love her. So all of the good things you can go ahead and say, oh, that was me. Those bad things, it's that influence that Lisa's had on me. There's Terry and Fran and Tom. And, well, good morning, Randy, all the way from Minnesota. How are you doing? So, okay, well, I guess it's time to start. You know, it's easy for us to get on, and especially Sean and I. I mean, they make fun of us all the time because we talk and talk and talk. Um, but this is all new to me, and but I have enjoyed doing the devotions, and as you can tell on Sunday mornings when I'm acting really silly like I did yesterday, um, I look back and when Lisa sends it to me, I just think, oh my goodness, oh there. I see so many coming in. Even my daughter-in-law is watching me this morning. So, hope everyone's doing okay this morning, Amanda, and all of them. A lot of times people will say something about how lonely they are, and they'll come to me and they'll say, I just feel so lonely. I just, where's God in this situation? I'm in this situation and I just don't know where He is. And I came across this devotional, and let me read it to you in that. Maybe you've been there. Probably we've all been there at one time or other. And it says, I am with you in all that you do, even in the most smallest task. I am always aware of you, concerned with every detail of your life. Nothing escapes my notice, not even the number of hairs on your head. However, your awareness of my presence falters and flickers. As a result, your life experience feels fragmented. When your focus is broad enough to include me in your thoughts, you feel safe and complete. When your perception narrows so that problems or details fill your consciousness, you feel empty and incomplete. Learn to look steadily at me in all your moments and all your circumstances. Though the world is unstable, you can experience awareness of my presence. Fix your gaze on what is unseen, even as the visible world parades before your eyes. And 2 Corinthians 4:18 says, so we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Again, we're from Missouri. For the ones that are from out of town that are tuning in today, the statement that you always hear is, if you're from Missouri, you got to see it to believe it. Well, let me share with you. Um, if you believe that statement, that you've got to see it to believe it, you're going to miss eternity with the Lord. I know that when I share with the kids, I would just say, a lot of times we have a tendency to put God on the shelf. But if I was talking to the kids, this is how I would maybe share it. When you go and get a hamburger, you go to a restaurant and you want to get something to eat, and you see that ketchup and that mustard on that table, you get to decide, do I want ketchup or do I want mustard? Well, if you're like I was growing up, I like ketchup. My mom and dad always said I drank the ketchup out of the ketchup bottle, which I don't think so. But, you get that hamburger and you think, okay, I just need something extra on it. So you go and you grab the ketchup bottle or the mustard bottle and you squeeze just as enough and just as much as you want. Then here they bring you out your French fries or your onion rings. Well, if you're like me and like most people, you take that old ketchup bottle and you just squirt it. You want so much. You want almost every bit of it just full of that ketchup. And, I thought about that and I thought that's sort of how we are. There's times we just want a little bit of Jesus. And there's other times that we want Jesus in our life, and He's on our minds all the time and that. But unfortunately, a lot of times we put Him back on the shelf, or we put Him back on the table, and we get just enough of Him as we want. In Hebrews 11:1, it says, now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. If we're holding on to only the things that we see, we're going to miss a lot. God directs us. And it says in here, I am with you in all that you do, even in the smallest things. And then we wonder why when we get in a mess and that, we wonder where He is. And that it's because we've already put Him back on the shelf. And that in every situation that we have, we want want it to turn out the way we want it to turn out. And a lot of times we don't say, okay, Lord, show us, you direct me into making the right decision. That's why we get into a lot of the messes that we get into. Um, you know, and right now with everything that is going on, people are now starting to get back to work, and I mean, there's so much good that has come from this. I've never seen an outpour of people trying to help one another, and that, because there for a while I was really concerned, and we all have our opinions of when the Lord's going to come back, but God, He has shared with us that a lot of these things are going to happen. How are we going to react? We act like we're so surprised at some of these things, but He's in control. A lot of people, I know financially are just, right, might really be hurting. And to see the outpour of the things that people are doing, that's a blessing. Um, but what happens now that people are going back to work? Are we going back to our busyness that we're so used to? It's like we just got out just as, every day we scoot a little less of Him out the door because we get so wrapped up in the things of the world. Um, Let me encourage you that for us, we'll be coming back to work for a few days in and out and that. But our schedules are going to really start changing now. I see where, a lot of us around here are going back to work, but there's a lot of still unrest because people are hurting so much. And it's been so good seeing people reach out to one another, and what a blessing it would be if we could just continue that and not put ourselves first, but put the Lord first and then put others before us. We've made it, in all honesty. We're on the downhill climb right now, and we may go back up there. But it's how we treat each other, how we love each other. And, with the Lord being there with us, we reflect Him. I tell the kids, when you go to school, the things that you do and the things that you say, people are watching. And if you're a Christian and you call yourself a Christian, and that you're watched even more. I remember growing up, my mom always saying, wherever you go, you're taking Jesus with you. So, and she used to say that whenever I'd go out on a date, for sure. But, whether I was going to church, going to school, being with my friends, she'd always say, remember, wherever you go, He's with you. And He isn't with you just when you want to put the ketchup or the mustard, or you put Him on the shelf and you decide, okay, it's time to take Him down. He's with you. He knows every thought. He knows everything. He knows what's going to happen. And praise God, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And we just have to know that we have to lean on Him and know He's there, and He wants the very, very best for us. So why do we want to just use Him or have Him to help us part-time? He wants us. He doesn't want 50% of us. He wants 100% of us. And then, He wants us to go, and He wants us to share. He wants us to tell people, as I've always use the Great Commission, that we are to go and to tell. If not, when we accept Him, He would take us on home to be with Him. But the way we live, the things that we say, the things that we do reflects Him. So let me encourage you this week. For some of us, we've got one more week before we go maybe back to work. Some of you have already gone back to work, but take this time to just evaluate where He is in our life. Is He the number one, or do we have a lot of other gods that we put in front? Anything, whether it could be sports, it could be anything, music and friends and all of that. Make your choice, and wisely. He gave us a brain, He gave us a mind, and make good choices. It's almost like a new beginning. is taking place, and how wonderful it would be if we started off. It's like when we get to the new year, you make your New Year's resolutions. Now, if it has anything to do with some of the weight and stuff like that, a lot of times you might even make it through the first week, but you might not. But let's make a resolution starting right now that we're going to put him number one. And if that's the case, we're going to see love continuing. It's not just because of something that has happened in the world and that. It's there because we truly do love the Lord. So let's reflect God's love through this week. And again, I've enjoyed being with you all, and I hope that um, when you see me act silly on a Sunday morning and that, you just sort of think, oh, well, I guess that's what they do with the kids. And I do it because I love the kids. So would I do it for you all? Well, pretty much everyone well, not everyone, but most of the ones that have texted me yesterday morning couldn't believe that I would do something like that. But you know what? It's fun. And you know how I feel. Enjoy life. You've only got one chance at it. And the most important thing is that one life lived for the Lord so that you can reflect his love for others. So I think tomorrow, Paul, he does the devotions. And I haven't really been looking to see who else tuned in. As I said, I can do one thing at one time. But to see some of you from Texas and Randy from Minnesota, and I'm not sure who all is there, but what a blessing that is. And I'm seeing some now. So, I hope that these devotions have helped you. And I don't know how long they're going to continue. Our pastor will tell us in that. But let me just say, it looks like the kids are doing well. We're doing well. Things are starting to get back to normal. And that's a praise God. And let's just go ahead and go out and live for him. So you all have a great day. And we will see you next week. And if you are a parent, remember when your child, if he comes on Sunday mornings or they come on Sunday mornings, if they get an envelope in the mail, which they should in the next day or so, don't open it up because it's something for Mother's Day. And so that will be Sunday. So everybody, good talking to you and seeing you, and have a great week.